We're live, we're live. People, deluded, I'm back again. Thank you very much for tuning in this morning. I know it's an early one, but why not, man? I've told you lot already. I'm trying to incorporate the stream business, but in particular, early ones, man, because I mean, we all listen to the radio on the way to work, we all listen to podcasts, we all watch Sky Sports, and them things there, or have it on in the background obviously if we're working from home. So why not? Why not? There isn't much to talk about. There isn't much circulating in terms of Arsenal relevancy or just football in general, but football never sleeps and every day isn't the same. So yeah, man, thank you very much to everyone that's tuned in right now. Big up Claudius, Vishnu, don't know, big up yourself. Please make sure you hit the like button and whatnot. We want to get that up, man. Let's get that up to 100 really quickly, man. It doesn't cost a thing. So in terms of current things, what's going on in football today, I'm sure you all watched the Champions League yesterday. I couldn't watch every game, and to be fair, I haven't seen all the highlights of everything, but I watched Man United PSG. At the same time, I had the Barcelona game going on, and I believe Lionel Messi's now got 16 goals, scored in 16 consecutive seasons in the Champions League. Obviously, Kylian Mbappe ain't scored in 6 games in the Champions League. Neymar started off very well and then fizzled out and was probably a bit too greedy. PSG look a bit stale and lacking ideas, really. Big up Marcus Rashford, because Marcus Rashford was having, I felt, a pretty bad game until that goal, but that shows what the mentality is about. Obviously, Pogba came off the bench. Bruno Fernandes. I told you, Sir Alex Ferguson is paying them direct debits. Navas is off his line. You see how it got recalled and whatnot. So it was an interesting day for me in terms of Barcelona. Ansu Fati, listen, I think out of all of them, all them stars of tomorrow, all these young players, all the Haalands and Mbappe and obviously Fati and all of these teenagers to early 20s sort of dudes that we say are going to take over the mantelpiece from Ronaldo and Messi. I think he's obviously rated. People can see the talent, but I don't think people take him in to the level they have other people. Like Fatty, obviously, we can talk about technical ability, but technical ability is only going to get you so far. Definitely only going to get you so far playing at Barcelona. You need intelligence. Fatty has that in abundance. Just look at the movement, some of the 1-2s, some of the spaces he occupies. Even when it doesn't come off, like he tried to square the ball and it got cut out. You see the thinking. He's really an intelligent footballer, really good player, man. And again, he's shining. Obviously, it was nice for Dembele and Coutinho, 2 players I like a lot, to be involved in Barcelona. Pedri off the bench scored, and you also he got a cab home. Remembering his age, he's only 17. Obviously, I can never say his name, but I spoke about him when he was at Braga. Tranquillo, I can never say his name, but he looked a bit decent. So it was blessed for Barca. Man United started off well. Chelsea and Seville, I was a bit disappointed. I watched the highlights of that game. I was a bit disappointed. I felt that game there, Seville played good football. Lampard plays good football. I thought there would have been goals and whatnot, but I'm sure both teams would have taken a point. How can I forget going back to Barcelona, people? PK's been a bit of an idiot, hasn't he? Because he's got himself sent off and now he can't play against I'm about to say Man United, I'm Juventus. Oh yeah, on the topic of Juventus, I watched them play. Obviously, Morata scored a brace. I'm not going to lie, that weren't the most enjoyable of games. I like Kulusevski and that, but I didn't think Chiesa. I think Chiesa was a bit hot and cold. I think the whole Juventus team was a bit hot and cold. It was nice to see my guy Aaron Ramsey. I'm keen to see my guy Lucas Torreira tonight, against Bayern Munich. Can't wait till he puts respect back on his name. But it is what it is. We've got some other people tuned in right now. Big up DS Boss. Love for that, man. Kevin, come on, man. Leon, again, you're always here, man. I appreciate all of it. Vishnu's got a question. You said, you nervous seeing Man U play well against PSG ahead of Man U Arsenal on November the 1st? I wouldn't say necessarily. There's still, I'm sure Man United fans would say, that result doesn't change too much. It's a lovely win. They've opened their Champions League account for the season with a victory, take nothing away. But there were still flaws in their game in that game. I think Alex Telles was good. I actually think Luke Shaw looked better as a centre-half. Axel Tenshabi, I do it a lot, and a lot of people, we focus on the attackers and the glory. He had a lovely game. I think Lindelof was good. Obviously, Wan-Bissaka, and there's been a bit of rumours and whatnot in relation to his off-field thing. So it was a good performance. Whenever Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's job seems to be in question, United seem to turn up, and I have question marks over Ole Gunnar Solskjaer long term. I'm open to be proven wrong. I think as long as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's at Man United, they're not necessarily going to return to the Man United I grew up seeing, Arsenal versus United, or 9 times out of 10 Manchester United bullying the league. But credit where due, even De Gea's got a lot of stick, and rightly so. He hasn't been De Gea of a few years ago, but he turned up and whatnot, man. I think Axel Tuchebe, really important performance from him, you know. Hasn't got to play too many times, but after that performance, you know, you can't be dropped. You know, Maguire realistically will probably come back into the side, but that's all you can do is give your manager confidence and show what you're on, really. So I wouldn't say I wouldn't say that result changes anything, my guy. You know, it's a good result, but in isolation. But there's still flaws in Man United's game, similar to us. I would like to win against Man United, obviously, because we ain't won at Old Trafford in God knows how long, since 2006. So I would love to see, obviously, victory. So I wouldn't say I'm nervous, but obviously, if I was to be nervous, it's about the attacking options. I know Martial had a bit of a stinker. Rashford scored at the end, was a bit poor. Greenwood didn't travel for whatever reason, but these are talented players. Bruno Fernandes, you know, Man United get a lot of penalties. Bruno Fernandes probably get a penalty against us. They've got a lot of talent, people. They've got ways we can exploit. They've got a lot of talent. So I wouldn't say I'm too nervous based on that game, my dude. Abdullah said, what's your thoughts on Ozil not being listed in the champs in the Premier League squad? Disappointing. It's a bit sad, you know, regardless what you think about Ozil. It's a bit sad, really, that, pardon me, this is the way he goes out. Someone that's won the FA Cup, someone that's had good moments at the club. You know, he's going to bow out. God knows if he's going to play a game for this club again. But I can't tell you the last game he played off the top of my head. And I think it's sad, really. I think the club, regardless what you think about Ozil, we talk about lack of creativity, and we can't talk about new signings until 2.5 months, until we get to January. But the club, specifically Arteta, they're going to have to fix creativity. Now, it's always the man that's not involved, that's the guy in it, you know. Ozil, Lacazette, whoever's not involved, you know, we would have still had the poor performance with Ozil, but understandably so. Ozil's skill set, whatever you say about him, he can pick out a pass. If you're not bringing in a creative man, if you're chopping and changing the midfield, if you're, you know, Willian seems to be playing on the flanks despite him being able to play in that 10 role, he's gone up front, you know. We've played Xhaka in that role. We've done a little couple of Joe Willock. We've done a couple other bits and pieces, but no one's really sees that. I'm looking at the plan because it's like, let's say Gabriel, it's a stupid example because it shouldn't happen, but let's just say you said you're not playing Gabriel anymore. Someone that's improved our defense and playing well. Okay, cool. Not play him, but go and show me what you're going to do to make sure we're still defending to a similar level or even better. That's what I'm looking at. You know, Ozil is past his best and whatnot, but based on the skill set and the lack of the creative man in the side, I need to see what we're trying to do to guard against creativity. Because if the creativity is coming from somewhere else in the team or someone else, fair play. But we'll have to see, man. But it is what it is in relation to that, man. Cling easy, man. I assume you're referring to the Football Blacklist awards, people. Thank you very much for doing that for me, man. It means a lot. And I hope you stay blessed, man. Thank you very much from the bottom of my heart, my guy. Let's scroll down. Come on, 1-1's here. All the regulars are here, man. Boy, I'd say us, you know. I actually fancy us. I'd say Arsenal. Maybe a bit biased, but I'd say Arsenal, my dude. I'd say Arsenal. See what I'm saying, my guy? But the friendly thing of last official game, not the friendly thing. The last official game, when was that? Because he played 10 after the restart. So I'm not too sure, Ryan. Apologies. And that's what I'm talking about. It's a bit sad, really. It's a bit sad, man. Hey, man, trust me, Leo. Big up yourself. Come on, thank you for the love you lot are showing me, man. Come on, like Zeph said, drop a like. It doesn't cost anything. Vishnu has said, why is your name Deluded Gooner? I wish I had a mad story. Literally, someone called it to me on Xbox 360 when I was in school playing it, obviously in school days, and just ran with it, really. Just like the name Deluded. Not even the name, the word Deluded. And I thought, let me run with it. If I could change it, switch it up. But we're too late to go back, my guy, really and truly. We're really and truly. Darren Bent. Now, people, that's what we need to get into first and foremost, man. Let's I haven't even got the comments to hand. I think I spoke about them in the last video. And this is the thing, man. This is what annoys me about football, because again, it's a bit funny when you talk about Aubameyang, you know, when he's scoring from the left, people harp on about adaptability and this and that and whatnot. When he's not scoring, there's no motivation, there's no creativity, there's no this and that. Let's keep some perspective, you know. Again, he can't rest on his previous successes and his laurels, you know. But let's remember, this is a man who won our Player of the Year. This is a man who scored 29 goals in 44 games, you know, and some of them goals were very important games. Like everyone, there's been times when Aubameyang's been anonymous and he's been missing, of course, but let's keep some perspective. And I think Darren Bent needs to do that as well, and respect the 31-year-old, respect my striker. He said, it's not the fact he hasn't scored a goal, it's the performance. Before he signed his contract, he was absolutely everywhere, running back, tracking back, putting tackles in, breaking forward. There was a real hunger and intensity to his game. At the minute, you can see there's been a massive drop-off. I don't know if it's coincided with the new contract, but you can tell that he's not playing with the same intensity that he had before. When you focus so much on getting a new deal like Aubameyang did, you'll run that extra yard and make that extra effort. When he sits down now and analyzes his performances before and after the contract, he'll see there's been a massive change. But let's remember, it is a fact he is carrying an injury, for one. For two, why would he be focusing on the contract when we've heard in hindsight, you know, there was talks in the background and his advisors were being able to do it. The best thing to do when there's contract talk is to just worry about football. And that's what Aubameyang did. You know, throughout the time when his contract and his future here was under speculation, he played with absolute integrity. You never questioned his work rate. You never questioned his desire, away from scoring goals and being the match winner and stuff, just how he's conducting himself as a captain and whatnot, you know. And I don't agree with that. You know, he's in bad form right now. He's not scoring, you know, fair criticisms of that. You know, it's always a disaster when someone with the caliber of Aubameyang isn't bagging, you know, but let's keep some perspective. The intensity is still there. You know, you saw it against City. He was doing a lot of defending. He was making that run and not being hit. You know, he could have played a better performance. You know, I don't think we played to his strengths, but he could have done better like everybody else. But this doesn't make any sense. And this is just, I know it's working for TalkSport and you've always got to play devil's advocate, but it makes no sense, really. In fact, okay, well, how do you quantify it? Because there's a segment in the game, Aubameyang is in a positive way, visibly upset that the players are not playing the ball quick enough to him. And you can see him going like that and cheering on the man. So what is it being said? You know, this is the whole rhetoric of, you know, he's taking a contract, he's 31, he feels he's got nothing to work for anymore. And football's a funny old game, you know. Aubameyang, you know, it is a talking point, but I don't believe that is such, you know. Again, there is a debate as to say, is him playing on the left wing and the rate he's scoring sustainable generally? Which I think it is. As much as I want him to play through the middle, there's always going to be a problem. But at the same time, you know, Aubameyang will be amongst at the top goal scorers at the end of the season, in my opinion, and back doing his thing and back being the Aubameyang we know. Of course, the fact that he hasn't signed a new contract, he hasn't scored a goal since he signed a new contract, kind of makes it a bit booky. But Darren Bent's just chatting crap, man, really and truly. And just, I get it, you know, he's trying to be on the Sky Sports, he's trying to do up the personality business and the rest of it. So I get it, you've got to be controversial. Moving away and not wasting any more time on Darren Bent. Thank you very much, everyone in the comments, for alerting me to the fact of Ozil's last game was against West Ham. Love for that. 1-1 said, when's the results of the Football Blacklist Awards? To be fair, I don't know. I think this week is the last week of voting, and I guess everything will happen in due course. I'll keep you lot updated. So that's Aubameyang there, man. Yeah, Ozil has been a scapegoat at times, my guy. Ozil has been a scapegoat at times, but at the same time, he ain't done the business at times. There's always give or take. There's always, with fans, it's always got to be black or white, you know. Ozil has been scapegoated. Ozil is someone to attack and someone to pitch, and sometimes he's put in performances and been scapegoated. Equally, more often than not, for all his ability and whatnot, he's coasted. That's a factor as well. So we have to deal with that. Come on, Ali, man. Come on, man. I'm trying, my guy. Come on. Like he said, like up the thing, share out the thing, and most importantly, subscribe to the thing. Ali, respect, man. I'm seeing all my regulars here. You know, it really means a lot in whatever roles you lot are doing, whatever sort of life you lot are living. It means a lot that you lot are still finding time to tune into DG. Big up you as well, man, from Malaysia. It's ridiculous. Countries as rich as Malaysia in terms of culture and whatnot. And, you know, it's a different and diverse and dramatically different country from England. How, you know, you're able to, how the internet works and gets us or even us to connect. It amazes me, and it shows, you know, the love of football can unite nations and people regardless of who they are, and all of the other divisive things that you know, divide us as humans. But moving away, man, I'm always forgetting what the actual point of being here, people. Let's talk about this new Europe Premier League, or European wide Premier League sort of thing going on. An article from Sky Sports has said Liverpool and Manchester United are in talks about a bombshell plot involving Europe's biggest football clubs to join a new FIFA-backed tournament that would reshape the sports global landscape. When I hear FIFA, I hear money. So I know there's, obviously with this new tournament, you got the biggest teams, in all the countries playing in one league, from all countries in Europe. You got the biggest players. Obviously with that comes commercial opportunity, sponsorship, TV, and the rest of it. So it's money. It's money, money, money. That's the first thing I get from the first paragraph I've read to you lot. It's money, money, money. Of course, from fans, the best teams playing against each other, the best players playing against each other. It sounds wavy. It sounds good. But they don't share our love for the game at the purest of levels, people. We know that's how FIFA are. Sky News have learned that finances are assembling a £4.6 billion funding package to assist the creation of what could be known as the European Premier League. More than a dozen teams from England, France, Germany, Italy, and Spain are in negotiations about becoming founder members of the competition. As many as 5 English clubs could sign up to join it, with a provisional start date said to have been discussed as early as 2022. Sources said that FIFA, footballing's governing body, had been involved in developing the new format, which is expected to comprise of up to 18 teams and involves fixtures played during the regular European season. So again, it flips it on its head. So again, if you're playing in the Premier League, the Champions League, and now this thing, how do you, divide up your squad? Again, this tournament, again, I don't think it can take away the credibility for the Champions League for me, because it's been going on for years. But if this new tournament comes on, what happens if Jurgen Klopp says, cool, we're playing in this European Super Premier League thing, but we've got a Champions League clash. I'm going to throw it and I'm going to focus on this European one. Or he says the champs. Which one, how do you deem which tournament is more credible? Which one is more important? People, that's what I don't get. It further complicates things. And again, it's about money, 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 and using players as robots and managers as robots, and the fans will have to pick up the package. You think we're going to get this on Sky Sports and BT and all of these things for free? You guys are mad, people. We're not going to get this for free. We're not going to get this for free. You lot got 1 second, people. What's going on? YouTube showing me some error. What's this? This is biggie, people. 1 second. What the hell? Apologies, people. All right, we're back. Apologies. But like I was saying, you think they're going to have this new Super League and we're not going to pick up the pocket? They're trying to charge us for Sheffield and Fulham or one of them games £15. You don't think if Bayern Munich, City, all the teams from England and all these playing some new tournament, we're not going to pick up the packet? We're going to pick it up. So again, fans are going to be further fleeced, Again, in isolation, just without all the money and the evil powers that be, it sounds like a wavy tournament, the best teams playing against each other. But I don't believe in the motives or the intentions, better yet, being pure for the creation of this league. When I hear FIFA, I hear money. Even when we get, I'm jumping the gun a bit, and obviously sponsors are sponsors, but you're seeing this backed by a lot of bankers and things like that. These are people who are just seeing money, more fixtures, and they're going to play this during the European season, during the usual European season. Again, it's more fixtures, it's more fixture pile up, it's more commercial opportunities. You can have more blockbuster games and all of these sort of things. It's more, people are going to have to fight over the TV rights. Are BT, who got the Champions League, going to say, let's flog this and let's keep Champions League? Or do we want both? Are Sky Sports going to say, are ITV going to get involved? So there's a lot of commercial opportunities. Again, I haven't once mentioned football. So they're going to do a madness to us. 2022 is 2 years away. And again, the effects of Corona, again, fixture pilot. We've got a back-to-back Euros and a World Cup. Again, fixture pilot. We're not going to have a calm sort of season. Going on from the article, though, apparently top place teams could play in a knockout tournament. Provisional start date as early as 2022. Wall Street Bank, JP Morgan are in talks to provide £4.6 billion in funding. The tournament could rival the Champions League. One football industry figure said that a formal announcement about the plans was possible as soon as the end of this month. Although on Tuesday, a number of key details, including the full list of participating clubs, had yet to be finalized, and the plans could still fall apart. So again, up to 5 English teams, I'm not going to lie to you lot, people. Again, it's a bit of this project big picture stuff. I can see some teams being open for it. The article specifically said Liverpool and United are up for it. And I don't think Arsenal or Spurs that were mentioned would say no. You've got to remember, Arsenal want to be a self-sustaining model. from a footballing perspective, it's not right. But, you know, we're missing out on a lot of finances through not playing in Europe's elite competition in the Champions League. Could we do up the Europa League thing and Arsenal say, okay, let's try and throw our hat into this European Premier League based thing, whatever is happening sort of thing, people, you know, where we can play in one of Europe's or perspective to be up and coming, one of the biggest tournaments. And, you know, everybody, regardless what I or you say, we are going to watch it, you know, so there is commercial opportunities. And at the end of the day, these are all the fat cats deal with, you know, finances, money and finances. They don't necessarily care about success. Half of these football clubs don't necessarily care about sporting success. It's a business. So I could see Premier League teams jumping out. I'm not saying any Premier League team doesn't want to win. I'm just saying I can see how Spurs, Arsenal, two teams not in the Champions League, for example, might, you know, jump at this idea. I can see why Liverpool and United would want to further consolidate things with it. You know, I can see why City are not there. Yeah. Boy, the article said Spurs would try to join it, my guy. And to be fair, they finished ahead of us for the last couple of years. So what could we say? In fact, even Leicester could chuck it to Arsenal and Spurs and say, when last you man win the Champions League, win the Premier League, apologies. So we'll have to see, but I don't really get positive vibes from it. In principle, as I once said, you know, I'd be open to that competition. It sounds quite good, people, but I just don't think intentions are pure. I think fans will be left to pick up the pay packet. And I do feel it for players, because when this, let's just say, cool, this happens in 2022 now and it becomes a regular thing. What happens when it's a World Cup year? Because let's say Liverpool, Man City, you know, let's say Liverpool just won the Champions League whenever they last won it. They're expected to challenge significantly for trophies. Obviously, you saw Jurgen Klopp, I don't want to say give away tournaments, but kind of play rotated squads. But how can you expect a team to compete in the FA Cup, play this World Club Cup thing, still play in the Champions League, play in the Premier League, you know, have the Carling Cup, and now you'd have this, you know, imagine Liverpool done that and had to play this in a World Cup year. Some of their players have to play in all of this and then obviously go off for their country. So I know football is a squad game nowadays, people, but it's crazy, people. It's really crazy. So we'll have to see what happens in that regards, man. Keeping up with the theme of these organizations doing a Mazzolini, people, apparently UEFA could expand the Champions League to a 36-team tournament in a dramatic overhaul. And this is probably a direct ploy at FIFA, you know, because imagine if you're Arsenal or you're Spurs and you were thinking about joining this, you know, this Super League, and FIFA come to you and say, we're extending the Champions League spots and we're going to give more to England. And, you know, rather than the top 4, the top 6, I'm just saying, because this might not make sense. You might say, all right, cool, you know, F the Super League thing. We're going to stay and do up this one. So again, I think that's a bit of direct competition. Imagine if obviously there's a reality where, you know, UEFA could extend their tournament and obviously FIFA could introduce their thing. Is crazy. But, you know, they could expand it to 36 teams, apparently in a dramatic overhaul that could see teams play 10 group games and a return to one-legged knockout ties from the 2024-25 season. The proposal gives the competition's heavyweight their wish of more high-profile fixtures and also hands more spots to teams from less heralded European leagues, with last season being the first time in the competition's history that the knockout stage solely consisted of teams from Europe's top 5 leagues, the Bundesliga, Serie A, La Liga, Liga, and the Premier League. So again, it might throw out my ideas of more spaces to the top teams. But under the plans, each side would play 10 group matches with one idea being 6 teams of 6 format, where every team in the group plays each other home and away. The top teams would advance to the round of 16 as normal, with the fourth best third. I need my glasses. Let me zoom in. With the 4th best third place teams joining them. I need my glasses, but I could not get that one. But anyway, so yeah, that's probably a next one. So we'll have to see what happens in that regards. But I'm not really a fan or an advocate per se for such people. So we'll have to see what happens, man. Let me just click that up. UEFA, FIFA, put that on private, let that edit. That will be a nice little segment. Let me see what you lot are saying in the comments, because you lot are going crazy. Make sure you're hitting the like button, people. Make sure you're hitting the like button. Don't know my guy Ethan. I'm here. I'm all here for it. It might make Arsenal spend money and build a serious team to compete for once. I've been screaming that since 07, my guy. Hopefully we are right in that. It would kill football, Aaron. In fact, could we not argue football's dead already? Because I know we've got Lionel Messi, we've got, you know, great players and whatnot, but could we not say football's dead already? It's been lost, you know. Money is the first thing we talk about. We don't value building squads anymore. We don't value coaches improving players. We don't value players' development. You know, it's all about money, fix. You know, football is crazy. You know, you play 5 games on the trot, you're a world-class player. The next 5 games are poor, you're overrated. Football has gone mad, you know. Football's gone mad. There's no middle ground. down. You know, we talk about, I like the evolution of the game, but some things should still stay the same. Like when we're talking about a defender, centre half, we're talking about ball playing. First thing, no, it should be defending. Like, can he mark properly? You know, can he hold the line? Is he firm in the tackle? You know, what's his personality like? Then the ball playing thing's a bonus. Obviously, if you're a ball playing manager and you want to fix your squad, it becomes relevant. You get the point, man. You're true, man. I guess it is true, but at the same time, you know, how do you define the best teams? Because we could sit here and say the biggest prestigious clubs, but as much as it can be agonizing watching some of the lesser teams in the Champions League just get beaten up against, you know, the Barcelonas and the whatnots when they're resting their teams, you know, they deserve it. Football's meant to be an equal playing ground, and if they qualify for it, they deserve it, man. They got Rowan with them bookie boxes. I'm not gonna lie, problematic, man. I would watch it, man. As much as I wouldn't be in favor, I would watch it, man. It is killing the game, man. It is killing the game. It is killing the game, my guy. It is killing the game. What else you lot saying? True, man. And that's true. That's why I don't care when footballers earn what they earn. That's why I don't give a crap. Footballers actually deserve every penny, you know. I believe it because with footballers, do you think Mesut Ozil would get 350k a week if the club weren't making mad peace? Like, come on, you got to remember the position they're in to be handing man that money. And I'm not saying Ozil, I'm saying everyone, you know. And maybe it's because I'm making inroads in football and I'm, you know, starting to make contacts and I'm starting to find out a few things and see a couple of clubs, players, and people for what they are, that I'm starting to think differently. But who knows, man? What side am I? One set, my dude. Neither, man. Neither. You know, if you know, if you want to expand it, you know, and give English teams more places, then I'm all for it because that's selfish and it's obviously going to help me as an Arsenal fan. But you know, and I'm all for it, you know, helping out other countries or other teams in countries that they might not be able to qualify if they don't make it bigger. But again, you know, expanding the competition, more fixtures, you know. So again, more games for players to play and more commercial opportunities. So I'm on neither side. I'm on neither side. I'm on football side. I'm on the fan side, really. Maybe, perhaps, man. Perhaps. Scroll down. What else you lot got for me? I'm not too sure about that. There's been players way before Messi and Ronaldo. There'll be players long after. I'm not saying they're not two hallmarks of the games. You know, I can't praise them both enough, but I don't think that's true, my guy. Football is football. It's like life. It's always continuing. I'm not saying there'll be players better than them, and one day there will be. Maybe not immediately, but one day there will be. Such is life. But football is football. The game evolves, man. Come on, Tyler, man. Early one. Why not, man? Early bird gets the worm first, and them things there, man. Come on, Emmanuel, man. Like he said, don't forget to hit the like. It don't cost a thing, man. It don't cost a thing. What are you saying? You could be Arsenal's new Ivan Gazidis, and I could be sitting here making videos getting on to you. And this is the main one for me, my guy. You know, it loses value. It loses value because what happens when the inevitable happens? Like, let's say, cool, this European competition comes in now. Let's just say Bayern Munich and Barcelona are in the Champions League, which they obviously will be, and they're in this thing. What happens when they play each other in that competition and play each other in the champs and this new team? You know, it's not going to take away the credibility. You know, I'm going to be up for it. You know, so Juventus, I mean, it's Bayern Munich and whatnot, but at the same time, like you said, it's losing its credibility. You know, it's losing its prestige if you're playing everyone not 9 times out of 10 every week. You know, on one hand, it's good, but the novelty will wear off. There is something to be said is in less is more sort of thing. I don't want my tea to get cold, people. I hate watching it on streams. I can't even cap, man. I hate I hate, you know, the bookie thing, the website watching of football. I've got an app, but I hate it, man. It's not certain. That's why I don't stream from my channel when I have to watch the game on the stream because it's rubby. Like, I'm gonna all be behind you, like telling me someone scored. I don't know what's happened. You know, where the stream ain't working. I'm messaging you lot, send me you lot's thing. It's dead, man. It's dead. It's dead. Like, I think 2008. I used to hate 3 o'clock kickoffs. It got to the point I wouldn't even watch it. I'll just wait till it became available after the game. And I hated 3 o'clock kickoffs and I still do, really and truly. I hate it with a passion, man. There's some tough teams in the Europa League, man. And also, off the top of my head, I can't remember everyone, but there's some tough teams in the in the Europa League. I'm always gonna go with Arsenal and support Arsenal and say Arsenal's to do it. But like you said, you got Leicester, you got even Spurs with Gareth Bale if he's fit. You know, Rangers with an outside opportunity. Teams from the Champions League will drop down as well. There are some top teams in the Europa League that I'm actually forgetting as well. There are some top teams, man. And like I said, crucially, teams from the Champions League will drop down. So it's probably too early to think of someone, man. I think we have a chance. I think we have a chance, but I'm always going to say that until I'm shown otherwise. Really and truly, it's that real. What else have I got to speak about? We spoke about the Europe thing. Big up Jude Bellingham as well. For anybody that cares, obviously Xhaka's been speaking about himself, and if I go on Arsenal.com and get the full highlights, he's been speaking about Partey. Now, there's been a lot of rumours. Partey was enticed at the idea of playing with Xhaka, not in such terms, but he saw how he was going to play. And you'd probably expect it to be Xhaka and Partey, although personally, I would like it to be Ceballos and Partey. Or just go with a flat three, which could be it, because I don't think he wants to play Willian in that 10 role. Xhaka himself has said he will be the guy who is important for me as well as the team. Everyone in the team, everyone in the club can be happy because he has great quality. He'll bring a good mentality, a good balance in our game, because this is what we need a bit more, the mentality to win. He's played at Atletico Madrid, a different type of football, and he'll bring a lot of good quality and mentality. And that's good. You know, I think Xhaka's got an elite mentality for whatever you say. And he's been speaking in relation to turning it around at Arsenal. He said, I'm a guy who has worked. Apologies, people. Apologies. Got to add that marker. Yeah, so Granit Xhaka said in relation to him turning it around at Arsenal, I'm a guy who has worked very hard. Maybe nobody sees that, or less people. But the first day I came here and signed my contract, I was the happiest man in the world because I know what it means to play for this club. I know what the people want. It's hard work. I think I am the right person, and I want to give much more than I already give for this club. This is not to show to be a team leader. This is me. I don't like the show. The leader, the stuff I am saying to you is coming from my heart. It's not coming to show people that he's doing this stuff because he has to. No, this is in me and inside, and I try to help people. And that's for every criticisms about Xhaka. That's one thing I get from Xhaka. He plays with his heart. He plays with his heart on his sleeve. He gives his all. I think he's got elite ments, even to swear at the fans. You know, I don't think Xhaka was right, and neither with the fans. But in reality, away from the club, you know, you swear at someone, you can't cry someone swore back, and it was a flashpoint. It was a boiling point. He showed great mentality to get with it. And I think even in the face of criticisms, he's done well. Like Xhaka isn't, you know, I'd keep Xhaka in the squad. I like him. He plays significant football for me, but it would be Partey and somebody else. But I like his mentality. He doesn't scream someone that's going to be scared of a fight. You know, it's interesting to hear him speak about Partey's mentality and his balance. You know, for Xhaka, he must be looking at is that, you know, not that the defensive shackles have been freed, but you've got Partey behind you. You've got somewhat got a sort of seatbelt behind you now, where you've still got to be on point, but you can maybe show other qualities. Again, I would like to see Partey and Ceballos. I think, you know, they're a bit dynamic. I think you'd see a bit more of a creative Ceballos. How creative, I'm not too sure, because Arteta, again, it's a long season. He seems a bit reluctant to play Ceballos in that 10 position. And he has kind of said he sees him in one of the more withdrawn roles. And, you know, again, it's a long season. He's spoken about Willian's flexibility. But, you know, I've seen him use Willian as a false nine before. I've kind of seen him used in the 10 role, as in starting a game. I know against Sheffield, he was moved into that role. And it's going to, again, like I said earlier, it's going to be interesting to see what we do in these 2.5 months to fix the creativity in this team, because Mesut Ozil's played his last game for the team unless a miracle happens. Emil Smith-Rowe is nursing his way back to fitness, and Arteta has name dropped him. Saka's versatility, it helps the team, but maybe long-term going forward, we kind of need our young man from time to time to play, you know, help us out. If we need someone at left back, or we need someone to play in central midfield as he's done, do it well. But can we nail him down now? We know he's a winger long term. Can we afford him that luxury to develop in that role? Obviously, Joe Willock, for me, I'm not convinced of his credentials in that 10 position. I think he should be in the more withdrawn midfield role, but there's that. So I'm keen to see what the club do for 2.5 months to fix creativity, because, again, you can evidently see it with every game that goes by. We're not shooting enough. We're not creating enough. And don't get it twisted. I think the existing players, regardless of what I'm saying about bringing in players and whatnot, are good enough to perform better in an attacking sense than we are doing. but you're only as good as your existing players. And that's one thing I'm looking at Arteta, because again, like I said, you need new players and whatnot. But you were looking at the Arsenal team coming in here without obviously bringing in several men. You probably thought, you know, going forward, there's an okay thing there. It's the main things are defensive. The harder task is defending. You know, you've got to improve the whole team, including the attackers' collective outlook and defending. You've got to improve these players individually. You've got to coach that whole defensive unit. And also individually, there's bad habits. You know, they've still got it. Like historically, you know, the bad habits David Luiz has had since he's been playing in England and whatnot, and Arsenal and Chelsea and whatnot. You know, the mistakes he comes with. You know, the same goes for Mustafi. You know, sadly, you go on YouTube, you know, type in Mustafi's mistakes. There's people with whole compilations, Socrates and the rest of them. And even the better players, we just not necessarily glaring obvious errors, but, you know, not tracking back and not following runners and all of these things that, so to a degree, are still in the game. But it was a massive job, and very quickly you saw Arteta identify that, fix it, and it's improving, you know, to the point where we think we're setting up too defensive, which there is some truth in that. Equally, I have seen us play good attacking football and stuff. I just want to see that more consistently. And if I'm looking at Arteta, you've done the hardest job, you know, even without bringing in players. You could see that it was a case of, all right, cool, Gabriel comes in, Saliba trains himself up a bit, you know, let's see what Pablo Mari's on. We'll have a better unit. In an attacking sense, with a creative midfielder, of course, will play better. But you've got Aubameyang, regardless of his form. You've got Lacazette, you know, regardless of the question marks. You've got Pepe, who, whatever people say about his first season, myself included, he's up there for Arsenal numbers. You've got Willian, who's not the most prolific. You've got Xhaka. Like, these are better players to excel in a more attacking sense than we are currently playing. You know, I shouldn't have to see things like 2 shots in the second half against Sheffield. And did we even shoot against City? You know, did Aubameyang even really we didn't have too many chances. Aubameyang hasn't had a shot against Liverpool and City. Don't get it twisted, you know, first and foremost, that lies with Aubameyang, because if you're a striker, why didn't you shoot? It's like a defender. If a defender tells me he didn't make a tackle today or make a significant tackle, why did you do that? You didn't have a good game because of you. You didn't do your thing. And, you know, Aubameyang clearly will take responsibility, but at the same time, he's not being given the ball, you know. It's progress, because we lost 1-0 instead of 3, I guess. But at the same time, you know, we learning from previous mistakes? Because Aubameyang went to that same ground like a couple of months ago, and you could see he was frustrated. We're not playing him that ball in behind. We didn't do it again. You know, don't get it twisted. You saw Pep Guardiola's tactics. They done us a bit, and it would have been harder, but the players can excel a bit more. But I'm looking at that, and to be fair, the club shot themselves in the foot. You didn't bring Auba. I didn't see a plan B. If the club had a vibe of, you know, we want the, you know, if it's not a Partey, we don't want no one. Or if we want an hour, we can't get him, we don't want no one. I get that. If you can't get your first choice targets, why get other men? But at the same time, we knew ourselves, creativity was a thing. We knew our was going to be a tough purchase. So where was the plan B, plan C? Even if you brought in a Partey and you made a little 5 million signing from, I don't know, let's just say Austria on the top of my head, someone's a random Austrian international who is of levels to create and stuff. You know, I don't mind that, as long as you identify the area. There's no plan Bs. So what I'm being told in that, you know, you're not going and getting other players on deadline day in that role. You're not going for Auba. So you're either going to go back for Auba in January or the summer, or you deem that if you can't get that, there's nobody else out there that can improve what you already have. So which goes back to my first question, what I said earlier about you've got to fix things in-house then. If you feel you can't bring in a man, if you feel there's nobody on, fair enough, we might not know people. We could have tried to bring in next man and it didn't bang, in addition to Auba or as a contingency plan. But for me as a fan, without knowing this and not guessing that stuff, I'm seeing it as cool. You didn't bring Auba. You know, it didn't seem we was aggressive to go for other targets or creative midfielders like that, you know. This tells me that you're happy with your options. If you can't bring in Auba, you're happy to work with what you have. So then again, we need to fix this in-house. Ozil's been exiled, so he's not a thing. Joe Willock, Emil, you know, Nelson in that role, who I think would do well in that. We don't know if they're levels. Saka has been used there sporadically. William was used there in the Sheffield United second half, not used there since or prior to that. You know, I'm probably missing out a couple of names. So I'm looking at how do you fix that? We could talk of Ceballos, you know, even if you go with a flat midfield 3 and you say, you know what, Ceballos, you're not a 10, you know, but I want you to be the creative influence. All right, cool, we can work with that. But for 2.5 months, that's probably the harshest thing I'm going to be harsh on about Arteta. And you lot know me, I'm a fair man. I do believe in not everything being his fault. He's still the man for me until he shows me reason to get rid of him or things to show he's not levels. But, you know, you've got to keep it real. You know, he's got more say in the transfer market now. Not everything is his fault, but I do think, you know, specific to playing and excelling more in attacking sense, that's down to the players to pull their fingers out. And it's also down to Arteta, people. I can't even cap. That's just what I feel, people. So, yeah, man, hopefully we see a bit more in that regards. We see a bit more, Teta attacking. Nice little clip there, isn't it? Nice little clip. Let's move on. Let me put that on private, people. I was actually not on the screen at that moment, so I couldn't see you lot. So apologies, people. Let me get to the questions. In fact, before we get to the questions, what's going on? Trust me, Emmanuel. Get on to them, man. 180 people watching, 77 likes. Come on, man. Let's get this to 100. Come on, let's pattern up. Let's pattern up. Let's pattern up. Someone spamming off the thing. Aye, moderators, please, man, pattern up the spam, man. They're ruining it. I'm seeing a lot of positive vibes. I'm seeing a lot of nice comments. I'm seeing a lot of regulars. They're ruining it. I hear that, bro, but you see me, I hear that. Like I said, for me, Xhaka would be in the squad, but there's nothing wrong with being average. If you can have an average squad, man, not everyone, and I know you know this, Ali, anyways, not everyone has to be a madness. Not everyone has to be good. As long as you just do your job, that's cool. I like Xhaka though, man. But like I said, for me, it's a squad thing. You have Partey, you have a next man in there, you have Xhaka mixing about and fighting. It's cool like that. For me, Torreira, Partey, Auba, because we was linked in here. Torreira would be about for me. I would still keep Guendouzi. So it might be long for a couple of man. You probably have to let someone go. So I agree, man. We should be looking to upgrade, but it is what it is, man. How good is Marcelo Flores? I think he's a good player. First thing I like about him is his attitude. He never gives up. He's always positive. His engine, the man's buzzing like a bumblebee. He's always running about. He never stops. Predominantly for the under 18s, he's been playing on the wings. But for me, he could have a future and should have a future in his usual position in midfield. He signed a pro deal recently as well. Forgive me if I'm wrong. Marcelo Flores. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. Because Marcelo Flores turned 17 the other day, and I think his dad gave an interview about how he signed a 5-year deal. As I just said, he's predominantly been excelling for the under 18s, playing off the flanks. I don't know if the club see him as that long term. I don't know if that's just how he fits in the team. But I've seen him play well on the flanks this season and in midfield, and he played well against Crystal Palace, if I remember correctly. In fact, every game he's played, he's kind of shone out. Last season, he was good. Like even in the defeat to Blackburn in the FA Cup, FA Youth Cup, we scored a consolation goal because he worked hard. I really like him. He's still young and whatnot, and he needs to work and whatnot. But if he keeps developing, I'd expect him to make more to make more appearances, more predominant appearances for the under 23s, because he's been on the bench and sniffing around it, and keep developing. He's still young, because of him being signed from Ipswich, being able to play for Mexico and several other teams. There's a lot of speculation around his future, but I think he's good. He's probably too young to even talk about Europa League or being involved. But if that wasn't a factor, and I was looking at a couple of under 80s, he'd be one I'd be looking at, because he's had a superb season. And I think he's trained with the first team. He's going to have a good future in the game. Whether he makes it out Arsenal is down to him and down to God and whatnot. But I think Marcelo Flores has all the raw potential and the sort of ingredients to have a real go of it, man. Like I said, he's got an engine. He plays with his head up. He passes and moves. He tracks back, which must be like when he plays on the wing, he's a fullback's dream, really. I think his future is in midfield, but it's good, man. And we've got good problems. You've got Flores, you've got Patino, you've got more Noro Bandera. You've got some good central midfielders at under 18s level. I think for me, the best performance off the top of my head, I think Marcelo Flores has been good this season. And I also think Kiddo Taylor Hart, he's unfortunate with injuries last year. He's been amongst the goals and amongst the consistent performers at under 18s. And for him, he's got to have a big year. I'm not too sure if he's just turned 18. I'm not too sure if he signed a pro deal yet. I could be wrong. But I'm sure he wants to step up into under 23s, but not before too long. So long may it continue, man. We've got some good young players. Obviously, the next one will probably be Miguel Aziz. Has a lot to improve defensively. But again, that guy's got talent in abundance and he's going to have a good career. But, it's down to them to keep working hard, to not rest on their laurels and just keep remaining consistent, my guy, really and truly. So we'll see. Okay. That's the next clip. My tea's going to get cold, people. That's a nice comment from Tyler. Let me scroll up. Tyler, I can't even see your comment, but you had a nice comment about you're happy to see that one of the man them is doing a thing like this, man. It's lovely to see, man. Thank you for your nice comments, man. I mean, you can't discard anyone. You can't discard anyone in these cups, man. Big up Celtic, because, I'm not a Celtic fan or a Rangers fan, but growing up, it was the English clubs, and I used to watch Celtic and Rangers quite a lot when it was on TV, and I would have loved to have played for either club. Celtic's a big club, as is Rangers. I know Rangers have sadly been going through some problems, but it is what it is. But yeah, man. Big up all the people in Australia. It seems like you lot are doing this thing when it comes to affordable football streams and stuff. Like Rowan says, smash the like button. It don't cost a thing, man. I hope we do, but you know, it's down to Arteta. And one thing I like in a healthy way about Arteta is you don't even, it's sad, but you just like don't know what he's on. Like, you don't know, you don't know. Like, 1 minute Williams a winger, then he's a striker, then you know, it's a mazza. I still believe in Arteta, but you know, he does leave me bewildered from time to time. But shout out Arteta, man. Like I said, you know, I do think players can live or die by their versatility, and I think you look at some players like James Milner. I think, you know, if you asked him would he have liked to have played central midfield more in his career, probably would have said yes. You know, that was a reason for leaving City to go to Liverpool. Now he's played significantly for Liverpool in central midfield, but equally he has that fullback and whatnot. And you want to, I think it's good seeing Saka playing all these roles. I'm not going to lie, it helps with his education and whatnot. But as time goes on, as he, like you see, he evolves in terms of importance in our team. You want to see him nail down a role. You know, I want to see him play on the left or the right or on the wings. At 10, I think he could do a job there. He clearly can. You know, he can play in tight spaces. He plays with his head up. He can play 1-2s. You know, like I said, you want to see him play on the flanks. But going back to what I said earlier about fixing things in house, he's definitely a candidate. Definitely a candidate. So love for your question, Gumsy, man. Come on, guys. You know, come on. Rayunan, forgive me for mispronunciation, is plugging you lot with some streams, man. Plugging you lot with them sites. Come on, my guy. It means a lot that it means something to you to want to tune in, man. It really, really means a lot, man. Big up everybody listening right now, man. As 1-1, I have to bring this one back up again, man. You know, the more likes, the more the algorithm plays with the thing. So hit the like button. It don't cost a thing, people. 46 minutes in. 46 minutes in. Let me see what else you lot are saying. So we already got that. It's sad about Saliba, man. I don't know what's going on with Saliba, but we'll have to see, man. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. Got a little virgin bend over in here. Safe, brother. Someone saying Højbjerg's better than all Arsenal players. Safe, brother. Just for the stupid talks. You don't believe that. You don't believe that yourself. Patino's a baller. He's going to have a great future. I think he's got a future in Arsenal's midfield. That's me personally speaking. Thank you very much for tuning in from South Africa. Stand up. And on the topic of Africa, my sympathy and my heart bleeds for Nigeria. And I have to say, stand strong, Nigeria. The same goes for Congo as well, as what's going on there, man. It's easy for me to sit here on YouTube and talk with you a lot about football. There are some things more important than football, and people's lives are at stake. So hopefully Nigeria finally gets the justice it wants, and my heart bleeds for them as it does for Congo as well. So big up everybody locked in from both countries, and I hope you're all well and safe, man. And I hope, you know, God blesses you lot, really, because it's a madness right now. It don't matter, man. Black man timing, I see it, man. I'm always late to my stream, same way. It's all calm. There's the comment. It means a lot, man. It means a lot. I don't know for role model. I really don't know for role model, because I ain't got nothing to show for it. You know, if I wanted a role model, you got to be something to show. I'm just a man with a green screen in here that's talking about football, but it means a lot that someone thinks I'm doing something positive, and thank you very much for that, man. Come on, finally 100 likes. Let's get that, man. Let's get that up. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Big up Siet, man. Always in the comments. Always locked in. Always locked in. Big up Deluded. I like Calvert-Lewin. I wouldn't mind him at Arsenal, but, you know, the one thing that's stopping me from being fully convinced in Calvert-Lewin to Arsenal is not the goals. It's the sort of goals, you know. His hold-up play is good. I would love to have someone that could score headers. I think he's a good player, but I want to see more variety in the sort of goals he scores. That will be the final confirmation. I would take him regardless of this, though, but if he carries on this form and based on this form, the only reason I would guard against it is because, you know, he's with obviously this form now and playing for England, he's going to cost a pretty penny. So, to put it nicely, so we're going to have to see. We're really going to have to see. Arteta, Oli, Lampard, who gets sacked first, TG? Well, I was going to say Oli, but whenever his job seems to be in question, you see him pulling off results out the bag, like you saw last night against PSG. I don't think Arteta, because, you know, Emery got a long time here, to put it nicely, too long. Lampard, you know, the squad has to gel. It's a double-edged sword, because Chelsea might say, you know what, we've bought a whole heap of players. You know, it's our first season without the transfer ban properly sorted thing. Let's let these players gel. Lampard's going to need time. I get that. But by the same token, you know, he's not really got a leg to stand on with the money they've spent. If it doesn't click, you could see Lampard going. If you had to ask me to make a bet with actual finances and actual money, then I'm probably going to say Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, just because I can see that one happening. But that's me. It's very important. I want us to qualify for the Champions League via the top four. I can't lie, I'd rather finish in the top four than win the Europa League. I know it's a trophy and whatnot, but for me, it more symbolizes a goal. Saying that, I am changing because it's a trophy, but so don't hold that one to me. But it is vital. We lack European trophies. You know, it's a trophy at the end of the day. It's something that it would be good for Arteta's CV and the players as well. It also obviously helps us get into the Champions League. It helps us if we don't qualify via the league domestically. So it's very important. It's very important. The league is the priority, but it's very important to me. I hope you're right, Antonio. I hope you're right, man. Young Palace, come on, my guy. Equal chances, man. They'd both be on the bench for me, and then it will come down to what happens in the game. I think they're both deserving of opportunities, man. I think they're both deserving of opportunities, man. No clue, my guy. No clue. But we have dug into the lower leagues before, so who knows? But I don't know, man. I saw this. Big up Petr Cech. Apparently, he's just emergency cover, you know, so he probably won't play. But just if something happens, you know, he could be utilized, and he's probably better than Kepa. He probably sees he's better than Kepa. It's funny, but you know, it's probably just in case something mad happens, he can be thrown in and whatnot. It's quite, you know, I thought it was an error and they came out and confirmed it, but you know, he probably won't play. But it makes for a good headline and a good talking point to laugh about. Long way to go. I think Aziz, you know, defensively he's got to improve and just speed of which he does things, but he's got it all. He's very cultured in possession. He's very graceful. He's got a good passing range. Balogun eats goals for breakfast. I'd love to see them both get opportunities, but I'm not the decision maker, so it's unfortunate. You look big up. You lot coming in with the questions, man. Let me scroll up because I'm missing stuff out. It could run. I wouldn't mind running it. Martinelli and Xhaka swap positions when they used to play quite a lot anyways and whatnot. So we'll see. It'll be decent. Big up Maxwell. Apologies, people. I'm going to need to finish this. It's getting cold. That was a bit scats, people. Apologies. As was that. There's my tissue. As was that. Very scats, but we move. What else we got? I got nothing else to talk about. I'm not going to lie. I don't have trust in every player. I've got trust in the manager, Arteta. Doesn't mean I'm not going to criticize where I feels worthy and praise where I feels critique, where he needs to be praised. So praise and critique fairly and where due. Players, not too much. Not everybody. There are players I like, and I'm not going to mention. Well, you know, there's players I wholeheartedly believe in. Regardless of Aubameyang's form, I believe in Aubameyang. I love Tierney. I believe in Saka. Torreira's not here, but I would have thrown Torreira. Partey's played 8 minutes of this club, so but I already can throw him into there. I'm gonna throw him into there. No one can tell me nothing. Leno, for all his criticisms, I just know he's gonna give some sort of level of performance. He might spill the ball and do all that mad stuff, but there's some sort of consistency there. Apart from that, you know, there aren't too many. Like I love Pepe, but I don't know what I'm gonna get. I've got a lot of time for Reece Nelson, for Eddie, for Laka, but I don't know what I'm gonna get. You know, throw Gabriel into the ones I say I can trust as well. You know, big fan of David Luiz when he's in form, but him, Mustafi, all them man there, I don't know what I'm gonna get. Same goes for Bellerin. You know, I've got a lot of time for Maitland and his form, but again, he's probably I trust him a lot more than some of the names I've said, but he's not quite that level. So I don't have trust in many players, a handful. But I believe in them, you know, for 90 minutes, support their thing and whatever. But actual players that, you know, if you was to ask me in August, if I'm Arteta, players that I believe in May that I can say from now that I'd count on, there would probably, like I said, it'd be Tierney, Aubameyang, Saka, Martinelli. He's not about Martinelli as well. I'd throw Partey in there now and Gabriel. That's probably about 6 and forcing it with Gabriel and Partey because they've just signed. So it's probably about 4 names, really and truly. Pardon me. Two of them are youngsters. One's a left back and one's a striker. Really, pardon me. So yeah, man, support them all the way. But actual trust is a madness, man. Come on, big up yourself. Big up all my Trinidad people locked in, man. Always gasses me when I see people tuned in from the Caribbean. It means a hell of a lot. He's got to prove. He's got to prove it. You know, he's got to prove Arteta shouldn't leave him out. He's got to prove it. Same way now, Saka. Saka was given minimal opportunities in Europa and whatnot. He took them. You know, he's got to take his opportunities. He's got to train well. You know, train to the point where Arteta's always thinking, "Effing hell." Nelson was on fire in that training session. You know, every game Nelson was on fire. Arteta, because realistically, Arteta's not leading every coaching session. His coaching staff are talking about Nelson. The analysts are talking about Nelson, you know, to the point where Arteta sees him in his dreams. Probably what he saw with Saka and Emery saw with Saka for all his ability. That's what he needs to do, man. That's what he needs to do, man. Big up Wenger, man. But you know, Wenger's doing all this media stuff because his book's coming out and its relevance. You know, Wenger's my granddad. I got a lot of respect for Arsene Wenger, but at the same time, yeah, it's just he's capping, man. We need to concentrate on top four before we focus on them things there. You know, it's a bit of a mess. I hope it happened. I think Balogun's got a higher ceiling, but I'd say Nketiah right now because Nketiah's been exposed to first team football. You know, Balogun hasn't. Simply put, I would love that as well, man. It's sounding real football manager right now, man. Sounding right like football manager. So Boslai's in my team. Would like Ricky Peak, especially if he's not going to play for Barca too tough. And Gio Reyna's a bad boy footballer, man. Bad boy footballer. I think he can. You don't need to be registered for that. So I think he's eligible, but whether he will is another story, my dude. I don't have a clue. Big up yourself, man. It means a lot, man. 5 a.m. in the gym and you're listening. That's the dedication we need, man. If we all had that dedication to our lives, we'd all reach our goals, man. I think we can finish in the top 6, my guy, but at the same time, what is finishing top 6 is it's not helping nothing, really and truly. Come on. I'd rather give Reece Nelson chances than William, but it is what it is. I agree, man. Yari Vestishin. He's more of an 8. Tyler, you're not alone, man. Wait till that little Brazilian's back, man. He's going to work his little Brazilian magic again. People are forgetting. He plays for City. City are not going to let him go, my guy, man. It means a lot, my guy, man. It means a lot. It means, oh, sorry, you're not a guy. Apologies. I just clocked this. Apologies. Thank you very much. And big up yourself from East Africa. It means a lot. Shout out to Rance as well, man. I'm back there on Thursday, so tomorrow. So make sure you're awake for that, people, and you've got your reminders on Rance's stuff. Apologies, because I saw someone praising me who happened to be a Chelsea fan. It means a lot that you're tuning in, my guy. There you are. Come on, my guy, man. Come on, my guy. Already spoken about the Ozil thing. It is what it is. Like, it is what it is. It's sad, but it is what it is. And the quicker Mesut Ozil and Arsenal can kickstart this divorce, the better, because don't want to keep speaking about it, really. It bewilders fans. We miss a target, man. I do think number 2 strikers in football are missed. We do miss someone that we could lump it to, and you know, don't make me make out Giroud's just a lump. He does have a lot of technical ability. We do miss a player like that in the squad. Nobody. Nah, man, I wouldn't, because what are we gonna get for Pepe? Like, what are we gonna get for Pepe? You know, I'd give Pepe another season. You know, I'll give Pepe another season. Probably Aziz, Cottrell, or Balogun, in my opinion, excluding the ones that are not on loan. You know, Tyrese John Jules, I think he's ready for more opportunities in per se. So, yeah. No, I don't know about him, but I guess we're going to learn about him if he plays on Thursday, my guy. Adidas. Well, Nike for the Invincible kit, but Adidas, since Adidas has taken over from Puma, the kits have been wavier, man. With X. Who's that? I don't know who X is, my guy, man. Paula. Don't think so. I don't think so, brother. I don't think so, my guy. I'm going to bounce in a sec still. Checking in from East London. First time I've come across your YouTube. Easily the best constructive Arsenal-based YouTube. Subscribed. Thank you very much, Lloyd Jerry. It means a lot. Jeez. Big praise, man. Don't know what to do with myself there. Auntie said predicted lineup for tomorrow. Difficult one. I think Runnison, our new goalie, probably get his first little run out. I'll go Runnison. I'll go back three. David Luiz, Kolasinac. If Mustafi's fit, I'd go Mustafi. I believe Mustafi would be in there. Cedric Suarez at right back. Left back, Maitland-Niles. Midfield, El Nene and Partey, or it should be. Front three should be Lacazette. Could very easily be Eddie and Nketiah, but I'm going to go Lacazette. I'm going to go Reece Nelson. And I'm going to go Pepe, to be fair with you. Smith Rowe should start, really, and get some minutes, but he didn't look... how do I make it make sense? He didn't look that sharp against Manchester United. Oh, expressions. Oh, I should have clocked that. Apologies. Why not, man? Why not? Why not? Last question. I'm going to keep it moving, people, because we've been here for an hour. I can't lie. I want some lunch as well. I saw someone comment that, and it's making me think about food. Get one more question in, people. Let's get one more question. Let's get the likes up, and let's get one more question in, man. Let's go with this. What's your opinion on Kai Havertz? I think Havertz, again, for the comments that get onto me, I've said it both ways. Think he's a baller. Think he's a baller, man. Think he's a baller. Think he's got fantastic qualities. Keen to see how he develops now that he's at Chelsea, and hope to see how he finds his feet and what position Lampard actually nails him down in, because he's played in midfield, he's played on the flanks. We know he can play as a false nine, but again, you don't want to be a jack of all trades, a master of none, really. So we'll see how it goes, but it's been lovely doing this live stream with you lot, people, man. Please make sure you hit the like button. We'll probably go again. Tomorrow's Arsenal in the Europa League. I'll probably do a live stream for that game and watch along, so make sure you're all there. Like I said, please hit the like button. Do what a couple brothers have done already and hit the subscription button. Let's get this to 150 likes. As Matthew has said, people, I'm out though, man. God bless. I'll be back again soon. I've done the preview for the Europa League, and I think I've done a video on Aubameyang and whatnot. So there's more content out there for you guys, and I'm pretty sure you haven't watched all the latest vids. So there's your latest fix if you want more of DG. But for now, I'm keeping it moving.